Hello, my name is Alexio, and today we're going to be talking about Coco Jones. Coco Jones recently released her debut studio album, Why Not More, and I wanted to give you guys my honest review and my honest thoughts on the album. 3 years after releasing her highly successful EP, What I Didn't Tell You, with the equally successful platinum-selling single, I See You, Coco Jones has finally put out her first ever full album. But prior to the album's release, Coco put out a promotional single last year that didn't end up making it onto the album called Sweep It Up. Personally, I actually really liked Sweep It Up. I thought it was catchy and I thought it was the perfect song for the summer. She also released a Christmas EP titled Coco by the Fireplace in November of last year, and she didn't actually start teasing the release of her first album until February of this year. In February, Coco released the lead single off of the album, Taste, which I made a video about, and in that video, I basically said that Taste got sort of a mixed reaction when it came out due to the sexual nature of the music video and the Britney Spears interpolation that was used on the song. But overall, the song was good and it was a pretty decent lead single. And not long after she released Taste, she also released a second single from the album called You, which was a nice little slow jam. And then she dropped the full album on the 25th of April, along with the music video for her latest single, On Sight. As soon as On Sight started, I knew I was going to like it because it started off with these really pretty synths that sounded like they were from the 90s. The rest of the song had an old school and nostalgic vibe to it, while also sounding very modern. I thought the music video was very creative, and it showcased Coco's comedic and fun personality. Overall, I think Coco did a pretty good job of picking out her singles, and I think she did a good job at promoting the album, even though some people thought she didn't do enough. She was everywhere promoting this project. She was doing interviews, performances, and posting to her socials frequently, so I don't get why some people said that they didn't know about her releasing an album. Just because y'all didn't see the promo or weren't keeping up with Coco doesn't mean that she wasn't doing promotion. It means that you weren't tapped in, and that's not her fault. But enough about the promo, let's get into the rest of the album. The album opened up with Keep It Quiet, which is basically about Coco telling her man to keep it cute and to not embarrass her because of her ego, and I love that. This song is kind of like her version of Please Please Please. Taste is the second track, and hearing it within the full context of the album made me like it even more. After Taste, we go into one of my favorite songs on the album, AEOMG. AEOMG has a really sensual and sexy vibe that's similar to Taste, and I like how the track listing makes it so that we get Taste, On Sight, and this song back to back. It makes so much sense to have these songs next to each other. I really liked how the instrumental sounded, and I loved the reverb at the beginning of the song. I don't know if we'll get one, but I hope this song gets a music video. The next song on the album, Thank For You, was about Coco catching feelings and not caring about whether or not she's moving too fast or not thinking things through. The production was very minimal on this song, and some parts of the instrumental reminded me of I Hate You by SZA. Here we go, Uh-Oh, Coco's single from last year, made it onto the album, and I get why. This was a huge song for Coco, and it even scored her a Grammy nom. Me personally, I didn't really care for the song when it was released, and I don't really care for the song now. It just isn't my cup of tea. But I can't deny that the song was very good and that she deserved her Grammy nom. Other Side of Love was a cute little love song, and I think that it would fit perfectly in the soundtrack of a rom-com. The title track, Why Not More, featuring YG Marley, was a pleasant surprise. I did not expect to be getting any kind of reggae or tropical music on this album, but I did. Lyrically, I couldn't tell what she was trying to communicate with this song, but I just decided to sit back and just vibe to the music. For a title track, I thought that this song was pretty tame, and it wasn't really this big, explosive thing that I expected, and that can apply to the rest of the album as well. Most of the songs were pretty chill, there wasn't too much going on production-wise, and we didn't really get much variation in terms of sound. The only time we do get something a little different is when we get to Hit You Where It Hurts, which was a little pop moment. Hit You Where It Hurts is a simple, stripped back guitar-led track with hints of classical music added in here and there. The other songs like Nobody Exists and By Myself give us more of the typical relaxed R&B sound, which is fine, but I would have loved it if we got more dancey and energetic songs. The album closes out with Forever Don't Hit Like Before, which is a ballad about Coco trying to protect her heart now that she's experienced what dating is like. She doesn't want to give her all or invest all of her emotions into this relationship because there could be a chance that the guy is gonna mess up and ruin everything. So she has this wall built up around her and she doesn't want to bring it down because she doesn't want to get hurt. It's a beautiful song and I love how you can feel Coco's raw emotions whenever she sings. Forever Don't Hit Like Before is just one of many songs on the album that touches on themes of heartbreak and betrayal, but there are just as many songs that talk about love and romantic attraction. I think this album was very cohesive sound-wise, and I didn't have any issues with any of the songs except for Most Beautiful Design. Most Beautiful Design, featuring Future and London on the track, could have been left off the album in my opinion. It was 80% Future, and Coco felt like a featured artist on her own song. But other than that, the album was solid. Did I think that it was the most jaw-dropping, heart-stopping album that I've heard this year? No, but it was still good for what it was. I enjoyed my listening experience, but I much preferred Coco's What I Didn't Tell You EP over this album on my initial listen, and I don't really see myself going back to this album except for a few songs. But with that being said, I can tell that this album is going to be timeless, and I'm sure that if I spend more time with this album and let it sit and marinate for a few months, that it'll click for me eventually. Those were my thoughts on Coco Jones's debut album, Why Not More? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye!